Tomato, tomato, potato, potato. There's always two sides of every story, and there's two ways to look at something. A man named Mencken said, "A cynic is a man who, when he smells flowers, looks around for a coffin." And I think some people might see flowers and look around for a coffin, and there might be the other type of people who see flowers and think happiness in springtime. Today I'd like to explore the idea that there's two different sides to every story, with examples from family, law enforcement, and romantic relationships. When you're with your family, especially siblings or even parents if you don't have any siblings, there's always kind of two sides to every story. There's the one kid who sees the situation as, "Mom, he hit me," or the other kid who sees it as, "No, she hit me," and this whole thing escalated because they saw it differently. For example, in my family, my cousin lives with me, and my parents, actually both my cousins do, and my cousin, she left something on the counter. I think I've told the story before. She left lotion on the counter, and it really, really irritated me, and I was mad at her for like a couple of days. And when I finally talked to her about it, she saw that as, "It's my side of the sink, I can leave it wherever I want," and I saw it as, "Why can't you just put your stuff away?" So I think that's a good example of two sides to every story. With law enforcement, I was watching Cops one day, one of my favorite shows, and there was a guy, he got pulled over for reckless driving, and he ended up being intoxicated. He saw the situation as not being intoxicated, but the rest of the world and the police officer saw him as being very intoxicated when he could not put one foot in front of the other without falling down. So that's another example of two sides to the story. Another example is in a romantic relationship when a boyfriend and a girlfriend are together, or a husband and a wife, and the husband does something that he thinks is completely fine, and the wife completely overreacts for it. My mom, her birthday was in March, and my dad forgot her birthday. And she took that as, "He doesn't love me, I can't believe he forgot, he didn't get me anything," and birthdays, Christmas presents are like her way of feeling love. His way of showing love is by cleaning or washing your car. So he didn't say happy birthday, he didn't buy her a present, but he washed her car. So he saw that as that, "Hey, that was me saying happy birthday, that was me loving you," and she is still mad to this day that he did not get her a present. And for their anniversary, actually, he tried, or I told him to try and make it up to her, and she was still mad. She wouldn't receive any of it. So there's another example of two sides to every story. So I hope that you guys can look at every situation and every opportunity in your life to look at both sides to the story. Thank you.
So we're done. Cody said we're done here. We're done with the ball. We're not giving the blue balls. What do we do?
All right, Gina, I thought that you had an excellent opening of the speech. You've got a nice attention device, a very good transition to what the topic is. You've got a pretty clear thesis statement that you've set up, and an excellent preview of what the content's going to be. So everything is really sound at the beginning. And as you get to the individual examples, you do a pretty good job telling us a story on each of those points. A couple of them, I think, are a little bit more effective than others. The middle one seemed to be a little bit less developed, but the first two worked pretty well. And I thought that you gave, like I said, some interesting details on those points to try and make it interesting. Presentation-wise, I think for the most part you're solid. There are just a couple of things that are mildly problematic. You sound like you're rushing. You're sort of in a hurry, and that could be an anxiety thing. That was the only thing, other than one other thing, that I thought suggested any anxiety. The other thing was that you do the kind of crossing your legs awkwardly in a couple of spots once in a while, and instead of it being a deliberate movement where you're in control and engaged with the audience, it just looked like, like the kids standing in front of the classroom reciting the poem, and they can't keep their legs still. It wasn't a lot, but it was a little bit. And that and the speed were the only things that were any indicators of anxiety. Most of the other nonverbal issues were very solid. Your voice projected well. There's nice variety in your voice. I thought you were pretty animated while you were talking to us, although sometimes the expression on your face seems a little incongruent with the things that you're talking about. Your eye contact, also you do look up quite a bit. I don't really get the feeling that you're engaging the audience when you look at them. You're looking out at them, but not talking with them. And that's one of those things where sometimes it's the way you're rushing through the speech a little bit, that you're not thinking to talk, let me actually engage with people as I'm talking. You're kind of just going through the motions, and I think that it doesn't look too bad, but it's something that I think you could improve on, something that you would be better with. And I thought you did a very nice job concluding the speech also. All right, thank you.